Thank you very much. I appreciate that. He's a cute little fella, isn't he? I'm going to take you home in my purse, I can tell. And it is my first time. I'm coming out here. It is my first time to be at the Opry. And so let me just answer your question right now. I am 69 years old. No. I don't want you to applaud. I want you to look at me and gasp in disbelief and maybe say, no way. So, no, I'm in charge. We will do it again. We will do this till you get it right. I am 69 years old. You didn't gasp. I am 69 years old. Thank you so much. My husband, and I know many of you don't know what he's called, but my husband, left brain, is older than I am. But we figured out something that I think is the flavor of the Grand Ole Opry. We look for the humor around us every day, and we find it. Not long ago, we wound up in Nanaimo, British Columbia, Canada. Well, you better wait and hear what I say happened. We had time to kill. We went straight to the Canadian equivalency of our Convention and Visitors Bureau. There was a young woman behind the counter, and I said, we have 5 hours to kill before we get on the ferry and go somewhere. What would you suggest we do in Nanaimo? And she went into action. She started putting brochures out on the counter and then stopped, looked at her watch and said, oh, do you know where the terminal is for the ferries? And we said, we've been by there, we know. She said, okay, if you go back to the terminal and go south so many kilometers, you will come to the Nanaimo River. And if you look left, you'll see the Nanaimo man-made bridge. And if the two of you will go out there right now, you can bungee jump. Have you ever wanted to take a young person's face in your hands lovingly and say, are you in there? Look at us. Just look at this. At that time, left brain was almost 70. He is tall, he is thin, he has solid white hair. It is also thin. I was just a few years behind him. I'm not as thin as I once was, and my hair is Clairol Tweed number 14. We don't look like bungee jumpers. And then it dawned on me, left brain didn't have any idea what she was talking about. When you have been married to the same person forever, you know who they know, what they know, where they've been. Left brain will say, I think I know those people over there. No, you don't. I think I know those. Actually, honey, you don't. I don't know them. Where would you know them from? And then another thought came into my mind, and it was, I need to bring up my voice level. Left brain is not hearing as well as he used to. And in another loving voice, I said to him, you need to get your hearing checked. There is not a woman here tonight who is in my age realm that doesn't know what I heard. I can hear as well as any man my age. I said, you're 70, don't brag about that out in public. But I brought my voice up and I said, left brain, do you know what she wants us to do? He said, no, I don't believe I do. What she wants us to do, honey, is to go out to that river and get on that bridge and put on some sort of ropes and boots and ties and things on our feet and our legs. And when we are secure, left brain, we're going to go to the edge of that bridge and we're going to hurl our bodies out there and drop head first over that water and hang there, and somebody will wheel us up. Left brain said, I can't do that. My teeth will fall out. When she heard that, she said, oh, no, sir. No, sir. Your teeth won't fall out. There's a man on the bridge with a little container. First, he has people take out their hearing aids and then their teeth. I said, wait a minute, what do you announce through a bullhorn? Put your 3-prong walkers against a tree. Well, we do look for humor, and we looked at each other and we started laughing, and she became defensive. She said, you get your money's worth. You don't just drop and they reel you up. The bungee cord pops you. And then it becomes like a ride. You swing over here and over here, and you go back and forth like a pendulum, and finally you slow down and stop, and that's when they reel you up, and that's when somebody so you get your money's worth. Well, we just looked at each other. We were laughing so hard, it was one of those times that if one of us tried to speak, we would spit. And left brain got it together. And he said, honey, I don't know anything about it, and I don't want to go. I don't want to do it, but I do want to ride out there and see it. And when he said see it, her eyes got as big as plates. She said, sir, if you want to just see it, you need to come back the weekend after Valentine's Day, because that's when we raise money for our charities, and people jump in the nude. Left brain said, what'd she say? Naked. N-I-K-K-I-D. Naked. She wants us to come to Canada in February when it is freezing, take off all of our clothes, and hang upside down naked. And then I got it together. I said, wait a minute, honey, we're missing the boat here. At our ages, with all the sagging areas on our bodies, if we can hang upside down long enough naked, we might could knock a few things back in place. And left brain said, no, we can't do it because of the swinging part. All of the sagging areas on our body are liable to start rolling, and we'll slap ourselves silly. We got outside, I don't know how, and I love this man. He's my best friend. I wouldn't talk about him if it hurt his feelings, but the straw almost broke on the camel's back this day. He looked at me, and Mr. I can hear as well as any man my age said, I do want to go out there and see it, but you're never going to get me to spongy jump. And right there is where I laughed so hard my water broke and I wasn't even pregnant. Thank you for having me come.
Jeannie Robinson.
Hit it. When me and my girl go out on the town, we can't sit still, we can't sit down. It's silly to fight, it's silly to scuffle, so we dance all night to the Celebrate Shuffle. Hello, hello.
Here is another question you might ask. What did you do all day?
While I was at work. Oops.
Funny. Another way to phrase the statement would be, I have always loved you in that robe. Again, sincerity is a key here, but another way to phrase this would be, here, have some chocolate.
And like most men, I thought once we were married, I'd be singing
Any way you want it.
I'd come home early from work for a little
Afternoon delight.
Why did I think this way? Because we were gonna be living in the Oh my goodness, unfortunately, my lack of decorum often had me singing
Are you lonesome?
That was baby number one. Pretty soon we were singing. Which had me looking in the mirror saying,
I like big butts in a cat. Never miss a chance to get up and dance and do the celebrate shuffle. Me and my girl go out at night, feeling so good, feeling so right.
I haven't laughed so hard in quite a while. It was great to get out and laugh.
Our socks have been blessed off.
A lot of laughing. I mean, the interaction was really good. It really kept us involved and engaged.
Dancing cheek to cheek.
Dancing cheek to cheek was wonderful. Awesome show.
Very
Great.
funny.
Very funny.
Miss a chance to get up and dance and do the celebrate shuffle.
Took me 2 years of marriage to figure out my wife will never tell me to do anything around our house. She wants me to do something, she'll ask me a question. From the question, I'm supposed to stand there and figure out what it is she wants me to do. Simple example, say I leave a pair of my underwear in the middle of the bedroom floor, which frosts my wife. That's her favorite word. Someone will cut her off on the highway. Oh, that frosts me. And if I'm not frosting her, I'm driving her up a wall. That's another one. Kids will come in. Where's Mom? She's up the wall with frostbite. That's all I know. You won't believe what put her there, son. It was that pair of underwear in the middle of the bedroom floor. Boy, you look at the most powerful pair of underwear known to mankind. They not only defy gravity, but they change temperatures. So I leave my drawers in the middle of the room. Would my wife come to me and say to me, pick those up? That's 3 words. Pick those up. Would she say them? No, because that would be simple, direct, right to the point. Then I, her husband, would know exactly what she wants from me. I'd be able to process the information, make a rational decision as to whether or not I could deliver her request. You see, at that point, we would be communicating at the highest human level through language. My wife will look at me, look at my underwear, and then ask me, are those yours? I sure hope they are, otherwise I got a few questions of my own. What do you want? That is every man's question to the woman he loves. What do you want? Just tell me, what do you want? Quit talking in code and tell me what you want. If I have to tell you what I want, then it doesn't mean a whole lot to me now, does it? Many a night I've walked around my house with a coat hanger strapped to my skull. Boys are going, what are you doing, Dad? I'm trying to divine what your mother wants. There's got to be a signal in his home somewhere. Sir, wrap me in tinfoil, it'll make me a better conduit.
What I have done is I have figured out what a mom would say in a 24-hour period, and I have condensed it to 2 minutes and 55 seconds. So strap on your seatbelt, here we go. Get up out of bed, wash your face, brush your teeth, comb your sleepy head. Here's your clothes and your shoes, here are the words I said. Get up now, get up and make your bed. Are you hot, are you cold, are you wearing that? Where's your books and your lunch and your homework at? Grab your coat and your gloves and your scarf and hat. Don't forget, you gotta feed the cat, eat your breakfast, the experts tell us it's the most important meal of all. Take your vitamins so you will grow up one day to be big and tall. Because remember, the orthodontist will be seeing you at 3 today. Don't forget your piano lesson is this afternoon, so you must play, don't shovel. Choose slowly, but hurry, the bus is here, be careful, come back here. Did you walk wash behind your ears. Play outside, don't play rough. Would you just play fair? Be polite, make a friend, don't forget to share. Work it out, wait your turn, never take a dare. Get along, don't make me come down there. Clean your room, fold your clothes, put your stuff away. Make your bed, do it now. Do we have all day? Were you born in a barn? Would you like some hay? Can you even hear a word I say? Answer the phone, get off the phone. Don't sit so close, turn it down. No texting at the table. No more computer time tonight. Your iPod's my iPod if you don't listen up. Where you going and when, whom, and what time do you think you're coming home? Saying thank you, please, excuse me, makes you welcome everywhere you roam. You'll appreciate my wisdom someday when you're older and you're grown. Can't wait till you have a couple little children of your own. You'll thank me for the counsel I gave you so willingly, but right now I thank you not to roll your eyes at me. Close your mouth when you chew. We'd appreciate. Take a bite, maybe two of the stuff you hate. Use your fork, do not burp, or I'll set you straight. Eat the food I put up on your plate. Get an A, get the door. Don't get smart with me. Get a grip, get in here on count 2, 3. Get a job, get a life, get a PhD, get a dose. I don't care if you started. You're grounded until you're 36. Get your story straight and tell the truth for once, for heaven's sake. And if all your friends jumped off a cliff, would you jump too? If I've said it once, I've said at least 1,000 times before that you're too old to act this way. It must be your father's DNA. Look at me when I am talking, stand up straighter when you walk a place. For everything and everything must be in place. Stop crying or I'll give you something real to cry about. Oh! Brush your teeth, wash your face, put your PJs on, get in bed, get a hug, say a prayer with Mom. Don't forget, I love you. And tomorrow we will do this all again because the moms work never ends. You don't need the reason why. Because I said so, I said so, I said so, I said so. I'm the mom, the mom, the mom, the mom, the mom. Ta-da!
Are still trying to learn to sign for the hearing impaired. Most difficult thing I have ever learned or tried to learn. And Left Brain said, well, if you're going to learn it, I'll learn it too. You can have somebody to chit-chat with. He attacked learning sign language. He made 1,800 flashcards, and he memorized them within 2 weeks. It took me months, and I still get them confused, but he memorized them with that left brain. And he never, while staring right at the palm of his hand, never mastered the art of turning his hand toward a hearing impaired person. So what this means is, if we are communicating with any of our friends who need signing, they have to walk along behind us. Didn't I keep smiling well during that? Yeah. Here's the thing about a smile. If you're in charge of something and things have gone wrong and people know it, you can keep a smile on your face. They will assume she's got this under control. And if nobody knows that something's wrong and you can smile, you might can get it solved before anybody finds out about it. Everybody look in here. Don't I have a good smile? I have a pageant smile. I can pull it out. Just be walking in the busy Atlanta airport, can't get through a crowd, just stop and pose and smile. They will miss you. They will go out of the way to miss you. So I have been telling you since we started that it's fun to look for humor, and you can look at your families, your friends, strangers. And so you would think right now, with all this fun tonight, that I didn't have any problems. None at all. But look up here. See me smiling? I've covered. Everybody? If I didn't tell you, you would not know it. My pantyhose are near my knees. You looked down. Yes, you did. You looked down. They don't make pantyhose for 6'2" women. And before every speech, I go out somewhere and I pull them up. And then I forget how long I've been out there sometime, and the minute I start talking, they work their way down. And one night I was somewhere where I was supposed to speak longer than here, and I took a big step, and it was like a rubber band, whoosh, right up behind me. But when it happened, I looked at the crowd, and I smiled. And you know what they did? They smiled back. And I'll just ask the women, do you like my outfit? You like the outfit? Do the men? You know, it doesn't matter. Well, Tony, my assistant, came in not long ago and said, Jeannie, sit down. I need to talk to you, and this is serious. I said, whoa, we're never serious in this. What are you talking about? She said, well, Norma Rose agrees with me, but she's scared to come and tell you. And I said, what's the problem? She said, you need help with your clothes. Sometime when you're speaking up there, you look like a rumpled sheet. And I said, that's so easy for you to say. You're being so short. You can go in a store, buy anything, and fix it. I have to go in a store and look down. Something's hanging out. I'll take that. I'll try on this one. And I'll get this one and see if that'll by any chance fix. She said, what are you doing in the middle of your speeches when I see you pulling and tugging at your clothes at your waistline? I said, well, you know what? I didn't even realize it. I'm glad you mentioned it. I guess when I'm in the middle of a show, my hand hits here, I think subliminally, well, as long as I'm here. And they can't see it on that side over there. I might as well give those pantyhose just a little bit of a tug. She said, is that what you're doing with your thumb when I see you gouging around in your waist? No, taller men and women will tell you, they don't make our shirt tails long enough for us anymore. I'm just tucking in. It's the same thing. I guess my hand comes here and I just subliminally tuck it in. She said, Jeannie, you have an excuse for everything I say. Let me be blunt. I said, I think you've been right blunt. You're keeping your clothes way after they've gone out of style. You waiting on them to roll back in. They're not coming in. Not in this lifetime. Never again will you jump because you think somebody has just come up behind you and turn your head and see it's your own shoulder pad up over your ear. Now get some help. So I called a woman named Jane Tucker, sitting right here from New York City, to come down to Alamance County and go through my closet and Tuckerize me. And in her accent, she said, what are your wardrobe concerns? I said, well, my friends think I have 3. Number 1, I can't keep my pantyhose up. And number 2, I can't keep my blouse tucked in. And number 3, some of my high school clothes are getting tight. Jane said, I can solve number 3 for you over the long haul. And she got me this, and I like it and everything else. She said, but I can solve 1 and 2 for you just like that. Anytime you're wearing an outfit that requires a blouse, don't wear a blouse. Wear instead a bodysuit. It'll hold your pantyhose up, and it can't possibly come out at the waist. I said, a bodysuit? Is that thing that the tiny little gymnasts wear? Elasticy? Snaps between your legs? She said, that's correct. I said, Jane. You might be in the fashion industry in New York City, but I can tell you right now, in North Carolina, those snaps aren't going to hold. She said, I'll have you know those snaps will hold an elephant to a tree. I said, I just don't think so. She said, well, if it's snug, we can get 4 extra inches of the material that's elasticy and some more elephant string snaps, and then you can get a little bit of more room. And I said, well, she is a consultant. I am paying her. I told Left Brain she was a college friend, dropped in one just to see my closet. But I'm paying her to help me. Why wouldn't I at least try something she said? I bought the black bodysuit, 4 extra inches of the material, and a bunch of elephant string snaps. The thing came in one afternoon when Left Brain and I were leaving to drive up to Asheville to the Grove Park Inn. I threw it in the suitcase. Got up the next day, he is in the bed over here asleep with the cover over his head. And I pulled this thing out of the sack. It looked like a large headband. So I found the elephant string snaps and I put them on the floor and I stretched it up and put it on. And ladies, it came to right here. So I took it off and I got out my 4 extra inches of material and snapped some of those elephant string snaps in place and put it on. And now it was longer, but that was probably from just having been put on twice. But I had this 4 extra inches of material that was hanging down in the back. And it had to come through my legs and snap up here in the front. So I started trying to swing it through and see if I could catch it. And I'd see the tail coming, and I would reach for it, and that would mean it would go back there again. So I thought maybe if I could push this from behind. And I pushed and pushed. You don't have any flexibility when you get to be my age. I got nowhere. And the last choice, I'd been over as far as I could go and was going in a circle chasing this thing around the room. And that's what I heard Left Brain say from under the cover. You're going to slingshot yourself into the wall. You get out of the bed and get on the floor and help me get in this thing. Now look between my legs. I don't want to tell you why, just look between my legs. It's not important. You see that material hanging down back there? Reach through my legs and pull it up here and give it to me. I got to snap it to these snaps up here, honey. He looked right up off the floor and said, these snaps aren't going to hold. I will have you know these snaps will hold an elephant to a tree. And right there is where his left brain kicked in on him. He said, why would you want to do that? Who do we know who even owns an elephant? Just give me the thing, get me snapped. Now move me toward the television. And I got over here, and the women will tell you, you got 2 choices. You can slide your way up like putting on pantyhose, or you can inhale and just stand up. I slid my way up, got on my clothes, and said to Left Brain, turn me toward the door. I'm going down and make a speech. He said, I'm sitting in the back, I got to see this. It was a national convention, and they had evaluations. And I remember a lot of people wrote, the speaker had such good posture. But this is what I do for a living, folks. So from my opening words, I was in control of my speech. But I was in a personal little battle with that bodysuit. I'd be walking along, making a point, and this thing would grab me out of the blue, and the people in the audience just jumped back. I remember thinking, practice what you preach, Jeannie. And I gave them my best smile, and they smiled back. I tried to get a read on it, like was it happening every 17 seconds? So I could bow my back and be ready. And I was doing okay. And then halfway through the speech, the pantyhose, uninvited and on their own, jumped into the fray. So I had the pantyhose pulling me under and the bodysuit pulling me over. Everybody out here jumping all around. And I came over here to say something to a man in the front row. It was a higher stage, but he was about where you were. And when I leaned in his direction, everything got in sync. Whoosh! And all I could think of was, those 2 women were right. I've just dropped from 6'2" down to 5'2". Right here on the stage. And I knew I was not going to slide my way up on stage. So I gave him my best pageant smile, and I inhaled and stood up. And those snaps that will hold an elephant to a tree broke loose. And that thing came shimmying across my stomach and went up and slapped me in the face. And when people quit screaming, I looked down and that 4 inches of material was waving at my crowd. All of a sudden in the back of the room, left brain stood up and started going. Later I said, honey, what were you doing? He said, I was trying to sign to you. The snaps didn't hold. Thank you for coming.
It's about to get real, baby. I know what love means to you. The party is through. It's just me and you. Everyone has left our home. Girl, we're finally alone. Wave goodbye to the guests. You know what's next. I understand. We'll light your fire. We've been married 20 years. I know what you want, my dear. I'll go get the vacuum and take it from here. I'll clean up for you like you want me to. You see, turn off all the lights and I'll be alright. Lock the doors for you, sweep the floor for you, and I'll put down the kids so you don't have to. Baby, slip into what you want. Put your baggy sweatpants on, your favorite ones with a Nutella stain down the front. Go watch some Apple TV, Parks and Rec, all Downton Abbey, yeah, like you want me to. Gonna turn off all the lights, and I'll be alright. Lock the doors for you, check the bathroom too, and I'll put down the seat so you don't fall through, baby, baby. Hey, thank you, California, you did amazing. Yeah, remember, I will clean up for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. I did the choreography myself. Hey honey, have you gained some weight in your rear end? The dress you wear reminds me of my old girlfriend. And where'd you get those shoes? I think they're pretty lame. Would you stop talking, cause I'm trying to watch the game? If you're a man who wants to live a long and happy life, these are the things you don't say to your wife. I planned a hunting trip next week on your birthday. I didn't ask you, but I knew it'd be okay. Go make some dinner while I watch this fishing show. I taped it over our old wedding video. If you're a man who've done that, a long and happy life, these are the things you don't say to your wife. Solo. Okay. Your cooking is okay, but not like Mother makes. The diamond in the ring I bought you is a fake. Your eyes look puffy, dear. Are you feeling ill? Happy anniversary, I bought you a treadmill. If you're a man who wants to live a long and happy life, that too. These are the things you don't say to your way. If you're a man who doesn't want to get killed with a knife, these are the things you don't say to your way.